let it bang, bang.
So today we are doing a Grayscale monster mashup, and the reason I'm calling it a monster mashup is because I'm not really sure which kind of monster it's based off of. This is my inspiration for it. I got this like PR package from LA Splash. This is not sponsored or anything. I was just inspired by all of these monsters on the front. So I figured it'd be cool to do a grayscale version of them. I've been wanting to do a grayscale makeup and I just wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I didn't know if I was gonna do like a 1940s version, but then this came and I was like, oh my god, perfect. I'm gonna do like a monster mashup. So I just thought we would kind of combine these looks of these creatures that are on the front of this and just kind of let the imagination go and see where it takes us, as always. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a 1940s version, like kind of like I Love Lucy style, but I just think that the monster version will be a lot cooler. I'm currently watching Mary Poppins. I don't know how we got to Mary Poppins. Like I started on Hocus Pocus and now we're on Mary Poppins. So we're just gonna let it play through because I haven't seen Mary Poppins in like 3,000 years. Oh, it's a holly jolly day with Mary. As always, do not mind the wig. The black will blend in, hopefully, and you know, once we teased and everything, it'll be cute. It'll be cute. Right now, it's not. So yeah, if you guys want to hang out with me for the next couple of minutes or so while I turn myself into a grayscale monster, then I would love it. Okay, so started out, you know, we're gonna moisturize the skin because we are putting paint on. You just want to create some kind of barrier between the paint and your skin. My skin's been a little mad at me, but it's okay. I love these videos. Next, we are going to cover the brows, but we're not going to cover the whole brow like we've been doing. I'm only going to cover the ends of the brows and keep the front of the brow to give it a more realistic look. Again, it's always optional to cover your brows. I just think that it gives the character more of like a realistic look. When you throw different brows on, it just really helps change the look of your face. To start off with our base color, I'm using a gray water activated paint, and I first start out with a foundation brush, but you guys will see that I'll move on to a kabuki brush just to get things covered a lot quicker. This is actually a pretty easy look because we're only going to be using 3 colors, black, white, and gray, and like I said, I've been wanting to do a grayscale makeup for a really long time, and the way this one finishes, I think this is one of my favorite looks I've done so far. Okay, to cover the brows, I'm just gonna mix some black and white to create a gray color, because with my experience, I find that when you cover your brows, they like a more cream base over them than this water activated paint, and since we're using water with the paint, you have a chance of taking off the glue. Since the glue is just washable, it'll come right off. So I like to go over my brows with some kind of cream color and then finish off the face. Okay, taking a gray eyeshadow. This gray eyeshadow has been my friend, I swear. It is the gray eyeshadow from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. I'm just going to start placing that in the inner corners of my eye just to create a little shadow happening here. I always like to drag it down on my nose, like really focus on that inner corner for any kind of Halloween look. With that same gray eyeshadow, we're going to start hollowing out these cheeks. I'm just following the natural bone structure of my face, and then I'm going to drag it down a little past my lip to create that really hollow looking face. Just take your time with this and just try to follow the natural bone structure of your face. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way for you to do it. This white eyeshadow is going to be our best friend. This look is basically just a lot of contour and highlighting. The highlighting is really going to make the cheekbone pop and make that sunken in area look even deeper than it really is. So I'm placing that on the highest points of my cheeks, and then I'm going to go in behind the most sunken in part of my face, which you'll see in a second, and add a little highlight there. That's going to really help pop it as well. And now it looks like we're sucking in our cheeks, and we're not. I'm gonna add a little white to the center of my forehead too. This is just going to help even out any of that gray face paint that just might have looked a little patchy. Throwing a white eyeshadow on top of that is really just gonna help blend it out and smooth it out. For these brows, I'm gonna draw these things straight up. So I'm just going to start where my natural brow begins, and I'm just going to pull this back. I'm just using a brow powder here, and you can create any kind of brow you want, but I just wanted her to have like super straight, sharp looking brows. And I'm also going to angle them up right at the tip so they kind of go like in a little point, like little horns almost. You'll see. Next, I'm just going to start shading on parts where I feel like there would be shadows naturally. So I'm going to do it around my nose and kind of pull it up a little bit just to kind of change the appearance of my natural nose. We're going to throw a little shading underneath our lip, do a little highlight on the tip of the nose, and then we're going to shade around the forehead and just create a darker contour. As you can see, I already have a little bit of light gray happening on my forehead, and we're just going to continuously deepen this up, giving it a nice gradient effect. Here I'm just taking a black eyeshadow and working that onto the lid and up into the crease. I didn't want to do a cream paint because I didn't want any blacks to be super black. So I'm just working with a black eyeshadow and building it up to give it like a more softer appearance. I feel like if I would use a cream paint, it would have been a little too harsh. For the under eye though, we are using a black cream paint, throwing this in the waterline and underneath the lash line, and then smoking it out with some black and gray eyeshadows and just dragging it down as far as you want. I wanted her to look smoky and sultry and just, you know, she's like a monster, but she's cute. Again, we're just throwing in some shadow, so I'm going all around my jawline and underneath my chin. We're going to put some on the ears, just lots of contour and highlighting, just creating lots of shadows on the face. And if you create shadows, just always go back and highlight just to really make those cheekbones pop. For our lips, I created a gray color, again, just using a black and white cream, mixing them together. I did make it a little bit darker than the one we used for the brows, and I'm just filling in my lips with this, just my natural lip line, and then I'm going to set it with a gray eyeshadow because this cream paint will slip and slide all over the place, so if you do use it, make sure you set it no matter where you put it on your face. I'm also going to draw some little stitch marks coming out from the corners of my lips. So first what I did is took a gray eyeshadow and kind of mapped out what I wanted. So I just do 2 lines straight from my face and then some straight lines and some little X's. And then I went over everything with a black cream just to intensify, create some little shadows, throw a little white in there for some highlights, and boom, you got some stitches. We are going to do this on the neck as well, so you'll see like a larger version of this if you really can't see what's going on. These weren't as intense as the ones on the neck, but like I said, you'll be able to see those a lot better. I also put some little screws right on the temples. So here I'm just using a gray eyeshadow and creating a little circle. And then right on top of that, I'm putting some silver cream paint. And then all you do is draw a little black line right through the middle and boom, you have a little screw or bolt, whatever this is. I don't know. Next, I'm just going to make the neck area look like extra bony. So I'm just following like the natural structure of my own chest and popping these collarbones. And then we're going to just create some like little rib looking shadows. So how I do it is I use a lighter gray first, and then I go in with a black eyeshadow just to intensify it. And then whatever needs to be popped up more, you're going to use white. So again, just lots of contour and highlighting. If you can contour your face, you can contour your neck, girl. Okay, so here are our neck stitches. I'm first just going to start with a eyeshadow, and then we're going to go in with a black cream paint on top of that. This is just going to be our shadow underneath. You can add this in before or after. I just like to do it before. And then you're going to go through and just add some lines, make some straight, make some crooked, make some X's, and those are going to be your stitch marks. And then with everything, just throw some highlights and shadows in there just to make things look a little more 3D and not so flat on the skin. Oh yeah, and add little dots right above each line you created, because that's like where, you know, you're being stitched up at. And this is the last highlight I'm going to place on the cheekbone. This is really going to intensify it, make it pop. So I'm just creating like a very small line and then blending out the part closest to my eye, not the dark part, just to make it blend seamlessly with the rest of the face. But this really intensifies those cheeks. Then before we paint our hands, I'm going to put in some white contacts, which really make this whole look. Paint the hands, tease the wig, and this black and white monster is complete. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys, and I will see you super soon in my next Halloween look. Bye guys.